The G.I. Joe's resident firefighter debuted in 1985. He's a light with passion for excitement, whether it's swinging his axe or partying like a rock star. This is BARBEQUE. Let's talk about him. Before we do, I want to say thank you for watching JL's Comics. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I do upload videos just like this every week. Alright, let's get back to the story. The G.I. Joe BARBEQUE was born Gabriel Kelly in Boston, Massachusetts, and for generations the Kelly family have served the city of Boston as firefighters. Brave heroes who don't hesitate to run toward danger selflessly. His early file cards say 7 generations of his family have been firefighters, but his new profile on the official G.I. Joe Hasbro website says 6 generations. Perhaps that makes him the 7th, with 6 prior. Gabriel grew up with his favorite toys being fire trucks, and so if this was any indication, he almost followed in the footsteps of his family, nearly becoming a firefighter himself. As his V1 file card says, his love for the job doesn't come from family loyalty or sense of duty, but the feeling he gets from riding in the fire truck with the wind in his face and the sirens wailing, the lights flashing and the bells clanging. He also enjoys smashing windows and chopping doors down with an axe. When he's not on duty, Gabriel is a party animal. He can open a beer bottle with his teeth, pick up quarters with his ears, and well, this is questionable why he would need to do this or how he even figured this out, but he can wrap his lips around the bottom of a quart Coke bottle. But this was cut short as he joined the United States Army, where he became infantry. From there, Gabriel joined the G.I. Joe team, bringing along his infantry and firefighting skills with him. He would later keep Slaughter's Marauders cool as a cucumber so they wouldn't get burned by Cobra, and already accustomed to cumbersome protective suits, joined up with the Eco Warriors sub-team. He didn't care if it was a raging fire or a warehouse full of oozing toxic sludge, he just wanted to chop the door down with his axe. Larry Hama's 40th issue of the G.I. Joe A Real American Hero comic book series is where BARBEQUE debuted, and in the issue, the G.I. Joe team were setting up their new air-sea base in the Gulf of Mexico. They set it up quickly in the middle of the Gulf with Shipwreck, the Navy man, trying to take charge. The team took a break, but Shipwreck was telling them there's still a lot to do, and as Shipwreck walked past a chain locker, the lid swung open and a red-headed guy popped out. Shipwreck actually pulled his weapon on the new guy, who introduced himself as BARBEQUE. Shipwreck says, "Fireman, this is a combat unit, we don't need a fireman." So BARBEQUE says, yeah, everyone says that until their house is on fire. I mean, he does have a point. It's also what you'd call foreshadowing. Soon afterwards, Cobra attacked with a trio of hydrofoils, and the top deck of the air-sea base was awash in fire and blazing heat as the G.I. Joes returned fire. Snowjob had BARBEQUE use his fire axe to hack off burning wreckage before the flames reached the ammo crates and set those off. So Shipwreck was all upset, saying that Cobra was tearing up poles in his new base, but BARBEQUE was like, nope, they're just shooting at it. It's me tearing up the place with the axe. Then in a badass move, BARBEQUE swung a crane hook out at one of the hydrofoils, slamming into it and making it crash into the Joe battle platform, and then BARBEQUE leapt onto it, wielding his axe like Conan the Barbarian. The Joes were tricked into bombing and rupturing a fault line, which caused Cobra Island to rise from the ocean floor. The tidal wave that the blast from the conventional warheads caused ravaged what was left of the air-sea base, so the Joes survived by tying themselves down so they wouldn't get washed into the salty water below. The team rallied once more and launched their first attack on Cobra's new watery stronghold. And during the attack, BARBEQUE leapt onto the canopy of a HISS tank and chopped it with his axe, but the attack was called off as Cobra Island was officially recognized as a sovereign state. In issue 48, his fake ripcord was revealed to be Zartan, and as he made his subsequent escape attempt, Duke had BARBEQUE and Blowtorch work together in a corridor near the staging level of the pit. Blowtorch laid down a fire pattern while BARBEQUE sprayed the floor with a fire-retardant foam, which would have Zartan's footprints show up if he happened to walk over that area while in disguise and cloaked. Later, he was in the pit acting like Conan the Barbarian again as he sparred with Scarlet, swinging his axe around while she shot at him with her crossbow and throwing stars. But this was cut short because Storm Shadow showed up and kicked him in the face. His services weren't needed for the assault on Cobra Island during Cobra's Civil War, which meant he was not taken into custody, and so he was available for the Generals Hawk and Hollingsworth rescue op that followed. He was on rear security for the St. Lo's Infirmary assault, along with Flash and Bazooka. Much later, Cobra launched an assault on the pit based on intel from Firefly. BARBEQUE worked with Airtight this time around. They set up a trap with a blast door where they attached a flame projector to the blast door nozzle and fired it, which cooked the laser vipers on the other side of the door. Another Cobra wave came in and they blasted again, and BARBEQUE said these would be the new charred vipers. But it didn't affect this wave, they didn't get charred. Airtight said these were probably the new model of Battle Android Trooper, the new upgraded bats. During one mission, they captured Darklon. Both Darklon and LJ were shot, which forced Flint to choose who to save. He chose LJ despite mission orders. The helicopter was also shot up during the exfil, and hydraulic pressure quickly dropped, which meant Wild Bill and Lift Ticket had a hard time keeping the craft aloft as they headed back to the USS Flag, the Joe's aircraft carrier. On the flight deck of the USS Flag, BARBEQUE was one of the primary coordinators who were coordinating the emergency response. Foam dispensers, crash teams, harness cutters, canopy axes were all deployed for their inbound teammates. BARBEQUE would get the fire under control, then Lifeline's rescue team would go into the wreckage and pull everybody out. BARBEQUE said that if Lifeline had to go into the wreckage, he'd personally make sure he was able to get in to rescue their teammates. So the Tomahawk swooped in and slammed down hard on the flight deck as BARBEQUE's fire suppression team sprayed it with foam, and Lifeline's trauma team ran in with stretchers and medkits. Later, 2 pythonized and cloaked Vipers snuck into the pit to rescue Darklon. They rode in on the top of a semi-truck and then blew it up with satchel charges. So BARBEQUE was there to coordinate the fire response and order fire retardant foam be laid down in the garage area to help suppress that fire from the explosion. BARBEQUE was present also at Snake Eyes ceremony in issue 214 as the entire roster honored their fallen battle buddy. We also get to see him on the bus to Springfield as the entire team mobilized to rescue Sean Collins' throwdown Snake Eyes from Cobra Commander and Laura 343. And this is, as bad joke, things are starting to quickly heat up. In European missions, there was a backup story where the Joes fought against the Transformers. Action Force BARBEQUE is an Italian guy named Gabriel Garibaldi who was born in Naples. Not Florida, Italy. In the backup story in the early issues, there was an Action Force strike team that consisted of Miss Hoffman, Flint, Scarlet, Bazooka, Airtight, and yes, BARBEQUE. He seemingly replaced his axe for a flamethrower as they ran into a Transformer named Blaze, but then all had to team up to fight none other than Megatron. He was also featured in the second G.I. Joe vs. Transformers miniseries where BARBEQUE, some Joes, some Cobra, some Transformers were all time displaced, but this was its own unique continuity. In the Devil's Due run, Cobra tried to assassinate General Hawk and LJ, who had appeared on a TV show called 20 Questions, by blowing up the TV station building. BARBEQUE, as you'd expect, showed up with Lightfoot amidst the smoldering rubble, and he oversaw the fire control while Lightfoot was explosive forensics. In Chuck Dixon's Cobra Civil War, BARBEQUE rolled into Springfield in a Hummer as part of Team Mike, tasked with domestic recon. He was with Rat Race, Dead Check, Flackjack, Half Step, and Sandcrab. They detected an energy spike in a movie theater that still had a zombie movie playing even though it was abandoned. Foreshadowing again? Yes. They shut the movie off, which triggered a bomb, and as the power went down and the lights turned off, the NVGs flipped on. A murderous villain named Crake stepped out and murdered the entire team. Then he did that cool walk away thing in the movies with the fire burning in the background. But Crake's not a hero though. He killed the hero. BARBEQUE was dead. On the animated side, voiced by Lauren Lester and Sunbow, BARBEQUE first appeared in Pyramid of Darkness and a couple other episodes early on, but didn't say anything. He's in the opening just after the "Yo, Joe" yell, charging alongside Alpine and Bazooka. He got his own PSAs, teaching kids how to safely escape if the house catches fire, and to not pull a fire alarm unless there's a fire. In the days before cell phones were prevalent, he told kids to call the fire department from outside the house. You gotta use the, neighbor's phone. False alarms are no joke, he also told the kids with his Boston accent on full display. He gets his first speaking lines in the Greenhouse Effect, where, in his Boston accent still, he is telling Alpine about the important ecological experiment. A professor developed a nitrogen-based fuel that doesn't pollute and improved miles per gallon, except this facility happened to have a CG in direct communication with Cobra Commander on staff who stole the sample from them and hid it in a greenhouse in a nearby town. An episode called The Viper is Coming opens with Scarlet praising BARBEQUE, who's barbecuing in a firehouse that he just renovated. He made a flame burger that she had to throw in the punch. In the middle of the party, he got a phone call from the Viper. The phone call brought them to the South Pole. I hate the cold weather, he says. That's where they found Cobra's Club Med, featuring Cobra Cuties and the Zartan Entertainment Center and the Cobra Gym. In Captives of Cobra, LJ notes that BARBEQUE was on leave with a bunch of other Joes, leaving them short-handed to investigate the rock that was looming precariously over a town and these highly sensitive, easily explodable crystals. The Joes on leave were able to remain on leave, but they were put on emergency standby. Storm Shadow stole background data on some Joes BARBEQUE's included from the Pentagon. For BARBEQUE's leave, he went to see his dad at the firehouse in Boston, where he went out on a call with his dad's team, and apparently he still has reserve status at the station. The Baroness, though, stole his pops from the fire they responded to. Then he showed up on a motorcycle with the rest of the Leave crew. They ran into their captured family members who were now brainwashed into fighting for Cobra. They tried to use knockout gas on their families and it didn't work. Barbecue had his regular fire helmet on and a gas mask over the other helmet. Not sure how that was going to work, but hey, it's a choice. They had to find the machine and turn it off to get their families back before they destroyed those crystals. In Worlds Without End, he was one of the Joes transported to an alternate reality and was captured by the Dreadnoks but was able to escape. And in The Gods Below, another episode, Barbecue was on the team that went into the pyramid disguised as a Crimson Guard. The Invaders episode found him on a team with the October Guard's Colonel Brekhoff defending the Kremlin. He was back to grilling and BBQing in Cold Slither. And in the episode Skeletons in the Closet found him flying a Falcon glider. He was blink and you'll miss it briefly in the G.I. Joe movie, where you can see him charging towards the palace and later running when everyone was retreating from the Ice Dome. He was then voiced by Lee Jeffrey for the Deke series, although he didn't really say anything except a grunt or two. But here, he was with Slaughter's Marauders for Operation Dragonfire. In G.I. Joe Renegades, Barbecue was voiced by Jerry O'Connell for an episode called Firefight, which saw Barbecue as a firefighter in a town near where Cobra was building a large dam. Firefly had started a fire, so Barbecue and Roadblock blew up the dam to drown the fire. Roadblock, the team's resident chef and foodie, is the one who gave him the name Barbecue in this continuity. He actually fought the Firefly for a while too until Roadblock could extract him with a helo. On the action figure side, Barbecue's action figure debuted in 1985. 1985 Barbecue was also featured in a TV commercial for the Ostriker. His V2 release put him on the Slaughter's Marauders sub-team in 1989 and on Eco Warriors in 92, which had a temperature-based color change gimmick. In 2008, Barbecue had a figure release for the 25th anniversary line, and the next year another release for Rise of Cobra, and his V6 figure came out in 2011. His new profile says that as the temperatures rise, his threat response rises along with it. He displays incredible focus and determination and lives for the rush of the thrilling rescue. Then his Estrella Brazil file card says, "Worse for Cobra because after Barbecue passes, there are only ashes left." And with that, my barbecue ribs, I think, are done. I'm going to go eat. That's a wrap on this, my friends. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you can be one of the first to know when I upload videos just like this each and every week. I'm Jesse, this is JLS Comics, and I'll see you soon.